Hi guys, my name is Kalthum. I work in the film and TV industry for 5 years now, and so I thought let me quickly put this video together to give you helpful tools in order for you to do well in your interview. So one of the first questions that you usually get is tell me about yourself, and that question is geared towards about who you are as an individual, what you've worked on. You can then kind of slip in like certain hobbies that you like you're into, things that are kind of close and dear to your heart, but relating it to the job role, usually turns into a conversational turn point where they can go, oh my days, like me too. So if I mention, oh my days, I love this sport, or I recently went to this convention, they'd be like, oh my days, that's so cool. I've always wanted to go there. And then somehow the interview goes to a kind of like a serious feel to go, oh my days, let me tell you how amazing this is, and let me kind of like feed you in. And that already can go, oh my dear, I'm going to have a blast with this person, but not also that like we've got similar interests. Following that question, the second most asked question is, what TV show or film have you recently watched? A great general habit, watching shows that are kind of around that topic in which you're applying for, because sometimes those people might have worked on that show, so they can like go, oh, I worked on that, and then you can have that rapport. I'd say it's definitely useful to like maybe research like the employee, figure out like if there's any kind of like dual connection that you've got with them. Before you go to any interview, I'll say make sure you read your CV before you go on, and make sure you outline each task that you've done for each job role. So a detailed CV, separate to the CV in which you send to the production companies. This CV is basically for you, because sometimes it's easy to forget, especially if you've done this job, like I'll say, like a year before, like 2 years, hard to recall on that spot of what you've done day to day, and just have that on like standby. If this is like an entry role position that you're going for, you just basically need transferable skills and the eagerness to work. And I think if you've got that, you're generally sold. I'll say definitely on top of that, do know like what you need to do like on the day, and that how you do know that is definitely research about understanding like things called unit base or on set, the differences and where you'll be working, who you'll be working for, and what your general tasks are. This is all can be found online. I'm happy to do a separate video on this topic about explaining how you would go about putting your best foot forward if you're applying for a mid or senior role, especially if you've got experience. They can list you like random things like, or take me through your day, if you're applying for a particular job. So you're talking about, they could throw you like random terms like call sheet or just random things, and they may even ask you to like take you through it, just so they know if you can read it or not. So whenever they ask, do you have any other questions that you'd like to ask? I'll say definitely ask things that haven't been answered on your back and forth emails or WhatsApp, wherever these conversations are happening. When are the start dates? Would I be working with you? Who in the team would I be working with? Questions about the job, like what do they expect from you on the from the day. I know what I'm expected, but like sometimes they might have a different expectation, and it's great to know and outline that from the employee what they would like you to do. Is there anything that I haven't answered that you would like to know? I think that's a great question, because there's one interview that I did, and they mentioned that I didn't mention something, and I realized, oh, okay, I think that's definitely now an additional question that I'm going to ask, just so that I can relate to that, as in I've got that experience in that field, and therefore you should go for me. So I think those are kind of like the key questions. If there's anything else that you can think of, definitely do add them. And I'll say make a list of these questions just in your arsenal under your CVs about more questions to ask. I'll say the one thing definitely do not ask during this early interview stage is salary, because if you bring out a crazy quote and they've got a few other people that they're considering, they will most likely go for someone else who is happy to accept the lesser pay. And so it's much better to bring up the salary point when they've already highlighted they want to go with you, and go, oh, okay, I'm thinking of this, and you're able to have that negotiation because they've already dismissed everyone else. So you've kind of got the upper hand when it comes to that. So ask salary then, do not ask it beforehand unless they bring it up. Definitely do not bring that up at the interview stage. It's not a rushed question because you haven't signed your contract. They haven't put a contract for you. They're just looking at you as an individual about how your work ethic is and how you are as an individual. And then when that time comes, then you bring that question up. If you're doing an in-person interview, make sure you show up on time, being at least like 10 minutes before your interview. And if it's like a Zoom call, make sure your laptop is charged because the worst thing if it shows up low battery and it dies, like that is not a good look at all if that ever happens. So make sure it's charging even during the interview because you're not preempting just in case if it can or cannot happen. Make sure you're in a quiet room. I think that's quite standard. Make sure you're in a quiet room. Nothing distracting in the background unless it's like related to your job. Maybe it's a great conversation to have within the interview. The first thing you need to realize is about in this industry, it's definitely a people's industry. And one thing that people really want to know if they can get along with you, interviewer is there for you. Like they're not here to catch you out. So if you forgot to mention anything, like definitely do bring it up. You applying for that production or the people that you're working for, wherever industry it is, you're definitely going to be excited by it. And so you're going to come across eager and like pick me. I wish you all the best and I hope that there's good news about you securing your job. Thank you so much for watching my video. Do subscribe and comment below and like if you found this very useful, and I'll see you around.